Nagi, please say something about yourself. We just started recording.
Okay. Okay. I'm also a software engineer. I'm working in Shanghai, and I also use AI in my working, but yeah, mainly code. But in the part time, I use to develop my theory called CPV. Also, another based on the CPV, another is core bridge. It's about how people to 理解
Understanding.
Understand.
understand each other's. And I find the theory is a coherent 自洽 system. Later I will show you overview the theory.
Oh,
Mhm.
exciting! Leo.
Exciting.
Okay.
Leo, say something
Jerry.
about yourself.
Jerry, Jason, and everybody. I'm Leo, and I'm co-founder of Dasis, and I also use AI as a Transit, and I use Codex to coding and Cloud for everyday working, and I write program to help enterprise to boost their productivity. And now I'm follow Jason to learning Oxford project, and today I come online to communicate and learn from all the people online. Yes. Call me Leo.
Okay.
Where are you located at?
I'm located in Guangzhou, China.
Congo. Okay.
Guangzhou, China.
But you learned English in America.
Lori and Jerry and myself in America, and Zhou Beifang just said a few words in Chinese, says that he cannot speak English, but he's from Thailand. Okay, he almost went to Oxford to last year, but failed in the last moment. Okay, it's 3 minutes past an hour. Let's start formally. Today we are going to listen to Nagi's presentation, and then maybe followed by Tianzi's presentation. And Jerry,
Okay.
you will be the major commentator. Or, you will be the coach here. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
great.
Nagi, please start.
Okay. Let us start. Let me share you. Uh, uh, Today my title is Cognitive Positioning Value, called CPV, as a civilizational mirror. Hello everyone. It's really an honor to be here speaking with Dr. Hu, Dr. Chandler, and all of you. Today I'd like to share an idea that has shaped much of my own work. Something I call cognitive positioning value, or simply CPV. Most cognitive models, whether in psychology, neuroscience, or cybernetics, are designed to measure cognition. But CPV asks a different question. What if cognition itself begins to measure its own structure? In other words, when cognition looks into the mirror of civilization, what remains coherent? That's the starting point of this talk. Uh, the four-dimensional framework of CPV. CPV is not an intelligence test. It's not IQ. It's not even a model of ability. It's a structure index, a way to describe how cognition positions itself in relation to others and to civilization. And it asks four essential questions. First, integrity. Is your thinking internally coherent? Second, mirroring. can your framework survive being reflected by others? Third, closure. Can thought form a loop of idea, action, and feedback? Fourth, universality. Can your cognition scale beyond self-interest toward something civilizational? Together, these form what I call a civilizational immune system. They filter illusions. They preserve coherence. They allow thought to endure reflection instead of collapsing on it. So CPV is not about how much you know, but how stable your structure remains when mirrored. Part two, interactions. Of course, this idea doesn't stand alone. It lives inside a conversation with philosophy, biology, and computation. Take Doctor Who's 4DST model. It measures where cognition exists in time. CPV instead looks at how cognition maintains coherence across mirrors, across perspectives, across cultures. Or consider Dr. Chandler's chemical cognition, where molecules form recursive feedback loops. In CPV, that same recursion becomes cognitive, mental, and civilizational form of chemical closure. So in that sense, CPV acts like a bridge, connecting system thinking, cognition, and cultural reflection. It's a language of interfaces between disciplines. Part three, ethical anchoring. Now let's talk about ethicals. Every civilization struggles with one question: how to evolve fast without losing its coherence. That's where ethical anchoring comes in. Ethics here is not a belief system. It's not a religion, not a morality in the traditional sense. It's structural accountability, the architecture that keeps cognition from drifting into self-reference. Thinking about 1984, complete closure, no reflection, total collapse. Or Brave New World, total openness, no anchor, spiritual decay. Both are civilizations that lost their ethical gravity. CPV proposes that ethical anchoring is what keeps reflection meaningful. Ethical is not a belief. It is a structure that keeps belief from decaying. And this is where philosophy meets system science. Stability without reflection is tyranny. Reflection without integrity is entropy. Part four, AI and the third order reflection. Let's move to AI, the newest and perhaps most powerful mirror of all. AI is not just a computational tool anymore. It has become a reflective system, mirroring human cognition, sometimes amplifying it, sometimes distorting it. When humans and AI think together, structure begins to observe itself. It is what I call third-order reflection. First order, humans observe the world. Second order, humans observe themselves. Third order, structure observes its own operation. In this third order, we are no longer asking what is intelligence. we are asking what kind of structure sustains intelligence. The challenge is profound. Will AI help us raise our coherence, or will it amplify our illusions? In short, can our interaction with AI become a mirror that strengthens, not a mirror that shatters? Part 5, the civilizational mirror. So, what does CPV ultimately reveal? It's not about individual minds, it's about civilizations. A high CPV civilization is one that can look into its own reflection, reinterpret itself across time, culture, and technology, and still recognize its own coherence. A low CPV civilization, by contrast, fractures under its own mirrors. Its narratives collapse, its ethical disintegrate. So CPV becomes more than a framework. It becomes a language, a structural language connecting philosophy, systems theory, and cognitive science. And maybe, just maybe, when multiple disciplines begin to speak this language, civilization will finally begin to understand itself. Right. So perhaps what we are really testing today is not a model, but a moment. The moment when disciplines begin to resonate with the same structural logic, when reflection itself becomes a shared medium. CPV is not an end, it's a mirror, one that invites every thinker, every system to ask what remains coherent when reflected, what collapsed when seen by others. That, I believe, is where philosophy meets cybernetics and where civilization begins to know itself. Thank you. I love to open the floor for discussion.
Well, can you say more
Well,
about this concept of mirror that you kept using? Actually, we don't see any physical mirror here. We see you are using a metaphor. So when you're using a metaphor, you need to tell us more about why you pick up a mirror, the word mirror as this concept, trying to capture what you want to say. And well, regularly when you invoke the word mirror, we're thinking we have a image on the other side of something on this side. Okay, so it's kind of a relationship reflective, mirroring relationship. But in your talk, what exactly you want to describe by this term, like a mirror civilization mirror? How do you mirror a civilization? I mean, you need to tell us more about that.
mirror, in this case, you are my mirror. Mirror means others. Because we communication with others, the others is our mirror.
Jason, I think he means an infinite dimensional Riemannian Hilbert in space.
Okay. Laurie?
Yeah, I interpret mirror simply as applying a system to itself. And now, just based on my experience in using a meta theory to analyze different systems, I find most of them fall apart when you use them as a mirror and use them to analyze themselves. They're not coherent then. So there's that connection with morality and coherence. Okay, simple example. Postmodernism says all truth is based in power. Well, if that's true, then the person telling you that all truth is based in power is just using his power to impose his personal opinions upon you. Falls apart.
Oh, but Lauren, that is completely rules. That's totally the internal view from your perspective of that
True.
person's internal view. But what I think Negi is referring to is the culture in toto.
Okay, I don't see
not
those
the
as
individual.
disconnected. Those are definitely related.
Yeah, but the nature of the relationship is what's of concern.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I'm just this when he says the word mirror, that's where I approach it from. And I know that there are other dimensions to it.
Well, if I can use a chemical example, you can make a mirror by just putting a silver salt on a piece of clear glass and treating it chemically, and the silver falls on the glass and makes a mirror. So that the mirror becomes the composite, the reflection from what was deposited there. So it's a different. I don't think you're grasping his concept of mirror, is what I'm saying.
Okay, but even in a physical mirror like that, what happens? The light ray changes direction.
But with AI, he's saying that the change of direction of the light ray is caused by the culture.
Yes,
Okay,
actually,
see,
so
and that's I presume that the next discussions are going to talk more about what CPV actually is, because so far we've described its attributes have been
You have
described,
no
which I
grounds
like.
for that presumption. You have no
Yeah.
grounds for that presumption.
I'm waiting for the content to happen.
Okay.
yeah, so
But
Nagi, can you give us more your explanation for on the CPV? That will be more helpful to us understand your theory actually.
Okay.
If you can turn the page, we're talking about the concept of CPV will be much more helpful.
Okay. Wait a minute. E, e. E.
We are still stuck at the Q&A moment.
My那个 mouse
Just
disappeared.
use page up. Page up.
等一下。
Or you exit the sharing. Can restart if you need.
Double click to enter full screen mode.
Right. The cognitive position value is a structure index describing how cognitive system positions itself within and responds coherently to the multi-layered mirrors of civilization.
Your name is Yuan Xiaojun.
Yeah. My real name.
Okay. That's a secret.
Yeah.
So my understanding from AI part actually, so I think AI is kind of the human being civilization's mirror, and so we put a lot of knowledges and then the humans' memories about the world and the understandings into fill in AI's knowledge base. And when we do some actions, asking it do some things, and when the AI takes some actions, and it's actually not the AI's purpose to do it. It's actually human civilization's reflections, like a mirror. And so when because I come from industrial computing science and aero part, so my understanding actually, so when we trying to use AI or trying to co-work with AI, or when trying to ask AI to do something, and it's actually still human beings doing. It's still human beings' actions, not AI's actions. And
Okay.
this,
Yes, I agree.
and it's actually it's kind of the mirror. It's kind of the reflections. It's kind of the we built integrated systems with AI and human and AI together, but under the table, under the water is still human civilizations with reflections. That's my understanding. Yeah.
So you're saying that AI is implicitly a mirror because it embodies a consensus of human knowledge. So it by its very nature, it's acting like a mirror. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's like kind of magical mirrors. It's not just to reflect the action, human beings' actions, but actually is how to say it, enlarge. It's emphasize the humans' actions to many times. That's my and also boost up the reflections in that way. But it's still a reflection. It's still a reflection, but not his own culture, not his own the real thinking or conscience, kind of. Yeah.
How
I
does
can
it
take
go
a,
from sorry.
I can take an example in my working to explain why AI is a mirror. For example, I want the AI to help me to finish a task. I think if let me to do the task, what I need, what information I need, then I put the information to the AI. Then AI just like me to do the work. And then if the output is not good enough, then I think what information I missed. So I gave the AI another information, so it can output the right output. So in this progress, the AI is my mirror.
What's the difference between integrity and closure?
Integrity.
Because you define integrity as self-consistent in all the logic chains and logic links, and then you emphasize you put a closure there. So what would be the difference between these two criteria, so to speak?
Okay. Integrity is your thinking internally coherent. There's no bug. Closure can sort from a loop of idea, action, and feedback. The important is idea, action, and feedback.
So integrity does not need feedback.
Yes, integrity just internally coherent.
Okay, so that's your framework. And how about the universality? Universality including the whole human being, or just within one culture? What is in your mind when you use that concept?
Universality means can your combination scale beyond self-interest toward something civilizational or human?
Then you run into the issue like between the Arab Muslims and Israel Jewish people. I don't see this kind of universality among the conceptual systems.
In my CPV system, the Muslim is CPV 3.0 called civilization. It is It only CPV3. It cannot get up, cannot improve. It is closed. It is frozen.
Okay, so what is the CPV 3.0? Tell us more about that. And what is that scale you're talking about?
Okay. I see L1 to L2. Director show you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can look. You can watch it.
Oh, I haven't seen this before. You should share this PPT with all of us here.
Yeah.
I will show you after.
After meeting. Okay, it looks like very interesting.
This one very interesting. I like it. Yeah.
The L1 is believer. It 这个怎么说呢？谁帮我用英文读一下吧？
So it will just rely on the external purpose, actually. It will just bluntly believe in authorities and have no self-thinking, self-reflections. It's just a believer. Like L1. I cannot do the level 2.
Yeah.
Level 2 is
Pragmatist.
pragmatist. What do you mean? And it has a feature kind of the structure rely on properties, I think, and it could do the operations for the tools, but cannot think about the whole structure. And L3 will be the explorers, and he or she will have the mirror conscious, I think, and he would love to do the verifications, but the lack of the structure closure. L4 will be the constructor, and he can on purpose to generate the structures. And so he or she will able to build up the theory systems, but still lack of I don't know how to say Remy. It's ankles.
Ethical anchoring. Ethical anchoring.
Ethical ankles. And L5 will be the awakeners. He can just do the reflect systems by all by their own purpose, by their means, and can be aware of and understand the mirror relationship between the thinking thoughts and the civilizations. L6 will be the civilization builder. So civilization builder, okay. And he can just build up some kind of the general and common understandable structure protocols, I think. The thinking and the source have the capabilities to the translation. Oh, what happened?
We lost
We
your
lost your
signal.
screen.
Google Translate.
Google Translate. Okay. Go
I
ahead.
also use Google Translate. Okay.
Good, that's cool.
Okay.
Well, last one will be the controller, and they can able to multiple operation on the multiple culture interfaces. And going to the layout is able to do the reflections and operations for on the structured civilization level. Well, I don't understand it. But anyway, so that's a quick translation in English.
Are we having
what
fun now?
What is being dissected here? This is the terminology, but what is the principle that is being represented progressively by L1 through L7? What is being divided?
He said it was according to the level of maturity, the level
of
of
the individual.
maturity of. So it's kind of like a Kohlberg theory, like you go in on Maslow's theory, going from the lower level up, and the highest one is the controller.
I was going to mention
My
Kohlberg.
goodness.
But
Very
this, when you do these definitions, it's for the individuals, for people, individuals, or for group, or for civilization. What's the object to get these definitions?
用中文再问我一下。
你在定义这样的结构层级的时候，然后你们引用的者嘛，因为引用者的话，我想到是人，对吧？但你当你定义层级的时候，它的主体，你想定义的主体是什么呀？是人吗？
Who is the performer of all these levels?
Get this 7 levels.
Single person.
Yeah.
Structure in structure in your mind, and the civilization is a people. A lot of people's structure formed. It is civilization.
So it's a state of the individual as they progress through their life, through their development of their intelligence.
那翻译一下吧，我的字幕找不到了。
Jerry is asking you. Jerry 就是问你，你这个 L1到 L7，是指的一个具体的 individual，就是一个个体的这个 development path 呢，还是你在指一个文化体、一个社会、一个国家，甚至于 the whole civilization? Which one?
它的原子是 is 那个a person.
The
because
atom.
the civil
Jerry, atom is individual person.
because the
whole
civilization is combined by humans.
Lauren, what's your understanding?
Well, I'm reminded of Asimov's Foundation trilogy, where he describes the story of psychohistory, and I really like that story. But because it's science fiction, he never actually describes the theory itself because he doesn't have one. And that's the feeling I have here. I really like where it's going, but what is being built? What is the actual theory? What is the actual structure that's being used?
Well, from a Riemannian perspective, it's somehow expanding from a local set of tensors, shall we say, to an increasingly dimensional space of tensors, such that there's a larger comprehension of the whole figure, of the whole form.
I agree, but what's the mechanism?
Well, here it's language, clearly. Somehow, is this a comprehension of language itself?
帮我翻译一下这个问题。
Jerry is asking you, 你现在谈的这个是在语言这个框架里面的成熟度吗？是在 language 这个意义上来谈的吗？就是说
beyond
信仰者可以
the language, beyond
the language, beyond and extend to where?
Extend the language can't explain, can't tell.
The language itself is undergoing emergence and evolution. In the context, I understand this.
I think he wants to capture the maturity of the conceptual system, and he used the word 结构 structure a lot. because that is a, I think in his mind is a collection of individual elements of these concepts and growing bigger and bigger. When I first ran into Nagi's ideas, I linked his idea with Elliot Jaques. Elliot Jaques, which I like, Elliot Jaques who promoted that cognitive capabilities theory that I like most. And during a certain period of time, it was labeled as politically incorrect. So you cannot find anything about Elliot Jaques online. And interestingly, just recent year, maybe after Trump is being elected, the materials of Elliot Jaques it re-emerged in the internet. So now you can Google Elliot Jaques, and it got a lot of stuff on about the cognitive capacity and how we are doomed to be limited in our own box of our cognitive capability. And this reflects to the different level of work, like from the entry-level receptionists to the middle-level managers, all the way to CEO suits, and to the ultimate top thinkers like Albert Einstein or Stephen Hawking or Elon Musk or people like that at that level. In Elliot Jaques' theory, it became very, very few people sitting on top of there, like he controller here.
Jason, I do not understand the name of the individual you're citing.
Elliot Jaques, Jaques, Elliot Jaques. He's a Canadian.
I don't know the reference.
Okay, I will send it later.
Elliot Jaques.
But anyway, I think Nagi's work can be linked back to Kohlberg, Maslow, Elliot Jaques, and I like, actually, my personal favor is this kind of a level structure thinking, which is very consistent with my own theory of multi-level self-organization. Multi-level self-organization says that in very complex systems, you have a very basic level of self-organizing going on, and after a certain time, that low-level self-organization generates some new context or new environment or new situation that enables the next level of self-organization to start. So you have a next level self-organization, and you have a next level emergence, and so one after another, the world is built that way. That's my belief as well. So, Jerry, your work is at the molecular level or the atom level. But after that, after we got this thing called the neural system, then we start building new levels at conceptual level, symbolic level, language level, and the belief level, and the value system level, higher and higher and higher to the top.
I mean, I like it if it would happen that way, but if you look at history, it usually gets stuck at some level and then breaks down.
Exactly. But that's another topic. We should have another presentation by Tianzi, right? Tianzi.
Yeah.
Before we
Yeah.
leave this, I would like to go back to his original slides and the four categories.
Four categories. Okay, Nagi.
Oh, okay. Is this page?
Yeah. So the question that Jason raised about the relationship between integrity and closure. What is integrity is internal to the individual, and closure is the universal, or is the totality in some sense outside. It's the external. And so the distinction I'm trying to make is between the internal consciousness of the individual and the external perspective of that. So the interiority and the exteriority, is that the distinction you're seeking to make?
And CPV, the importance of CPV is not X itself, but the coherence between X and its mirror. The integrity is the individual, the internal coherence. Closure means the internal conclusion your theory, your structure can
Went
you can
through a mirror.
action, you can action, and you can get feedback in the real world. Means closure, not a serial structure in the air.
So these then are capacities. They are the capacities or the capabilities of the individual consciousness.
You ask closure?
Yeah, I'm asking for the principle of the four categories. What is the principle that underlies, that stands behind these four categories?
It's just four important dimension.
Well, okay, so what would be the fifth important dimension?
Fifth dimension is questions from Jerry. It's another mirror.
These four dimension make a coherence system. Then we got the four dimension. They can become a civilization immune system.
So in this context, I should compare these to Aristotle's four causes. So from Western perspective, four objects is usually thought of in terms of a quadrangle of some form, a square, or of a set of it has a geometric notion with the number 4. And in Western philosophy, Aristotle's four causes is a dominant feature of interacting dimensions. So that interaction dimensions in Aristotle would be formal, material, efficient, and final causes. And where clearly universality would be part of that sense of. So I'm trying to figure out how you would translate this Eastern thinking into Western thinking.
I see. this.
Well, he put several symbols I
Yes.
M C U E here. Integrity focus on the internal logical coherence of somebody's cognitive system. I think he implied for an individual's cognitive system. Mirroring, he emphasized on the similarities or consistency of the image with the subject itself. And the explanation he said is under different contexts or under different another individual's reaction, is your thinking still can be stabilized, or if your thinking can just be destabilized and falling down. For the closure, he emphasized on the feedback coming from actions, action versus thinking. So he's focusing on the forceability here, like whether or not you can confirm or disapprove your thinking. For the universality, he emphasized the going beyond the self-interests and a capacity to reach consensus. Okay, so universality is here. And you really need to come up an English version of these slides and share with us. And for the E part, he says ethical anchoring, which he emphasized that the structure, the responsibilities is very pretty much like Hans von Forster's ethical grounding, like whatever you think, you thinking structure you construct, and what kind of a responsibility it carries, and if other people can, what is SEP? It says from SEP. SEP 是什么？
SP is a detailed 更详细的就是参数，就会计算成这个 anchoring。
更详细的参数，这是 SEP 是哪三个字？
有三个维度啊，具体的单词我一时拼不出来的。
Okay, this SEP is a more detailed criteria sets of system. Okay, set of criteria, so things like that. And the next line, positioning stability, I think is a term invented by him. In Chinese, is 太位稳定性. And he wants to say that in a multi-dimensional field, is your cognition result can be stabilized on those coordinates. I think he wants to capture whether or not your thinking system can sustain the disturbances from different dimensions, can 相对坐标稳定度. Yeah, he wants to capture something that can be universal. Okay, so to speak, that was Chinese is a 泛之四海而皆准的真理.
I can take an example. Take an example. It means the CPV is not a frozen value. It means sometimes you your CPV is high, but in some 那个 environment, you're working in motion, the CPV get down. That means how your CPV get stable.
Okay, so multi-dimensional disturbances, including dimension of emotion. If all of us get angry with Nagi now, and can he still hold his thought stable and
对
without
yes.
change?
So
Last
If
one.
CPV is not stable, you can make the wrong decision.
Oh, okay. Last one, he said temporal coherence, translated as, he got another TAF thing that I don't know what does that mean, but he said in the long-term evolution, can you keep the self-consistency and the continuity along history?
well, yeah,
Is that interesting?
well, the difficulty is to translate this into the corresponding meanings in English, and this, I think, requires more detailed presentation of how this form of Eastern thinking can be applied to Western thinking, or how
Because
it
actually
relates to Western thinking.
that was my interaction with Nancy all the time. Is that, oh, I have been asking him definition. What is the definition? When you talk about a structure, okay, how do you define your structure? Because we have the whole field of system thinking that people had already talked about, the concept of system. Now you're jumping out another thing called the structure. So what is exactly your meaning by that? So we have been in that dialogue for quite some time before he agreed to make us this presentation. But I think at this point, since Nagi had agreed to share these writings with us, probably after his own translation, let's listen to Tianzi, because Tianzi is particularly we invited from a computer scientist point of view to check the integrity of Nagi's ideas.
Yeah.
So I think Tianzi had another PPT to share with us.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Just a quick point. I like these ideas in theory, but in practice, how do you make them work? I mean, just looking at the first one, internal logical consistency. So many people suffer from cognitive disconnects. When you try to discuss it with them, good luck. You don't get anywhere. So we get stuck there. Or just look at the last one, historical continuity. Thomas Kuhn says whenever there's a paradigm shift, all the textbooks get rewritten. No historical continuity. So, okay.
One quick comment as well. I would think, Jason, that a conversation between Lauren and Nagi should be given to the club of Remy as a whole, so that I very much would like Lauren's commentary and the comparison on a point-by-point basis to make sense of it from a systems point of view. Because from a systems point of view, the third line down, fourth line down on the slide uses the multiplication sign, but the discussion has all been around addition signs, as I understand it.
Oh, now you're bringing in the math.
If you agree to do that, we can do another session. Lauren, would you agree what Jerry suggested that we can do another session?
I need something in English that I can look at without having to do Google Translate.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Nagi, that's your task to give us the English translation of these slides. And we will schedule another follow-up meeting about that. Let's agree,
Okay.
right?
Okay, no problem.
Now, Chance, I'm eager to listen to your presentation.
Yeah, I will not tell you some theories now. I just tell you some stories for me and becoming AI actually. And right now.